Episode 16, How to Effectively Implement Success Habits in Your Life.
Helping you create more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life and community because you deserve it. And now, your host for the Happy, Abundant Freedom podcast, Angela Lynn.
Hey, it's Angela Lynn, and welcome to episode 16 of the Happy, Abundant Freedom podcast. Now today, I want to share with you how to implement successful habits in your life. The reason why I bring up this topic is because of the fact that successful people, they didn't necessarily reach success because they were smarter, they had more experience, they had more resources, etc. What they did do is they did have successful habits that they implemented in their life, and now it's become automatic to help them to continue to achieve success. And so I wanted to talk about how to implement successful habits is because this way it'll allow you to reach success faster. Once you know what to do and you can actually do it on a consistent basis automatically without having to think about it, well, you can then add additional successful habits into your life that will allow you to reach that level of happiness, abundance, and freedom that you truly want much faster. So today, I want to give you 2 tips that will help you implement habits successfully in your life. So the first tip is something that I want to talk about with regards to changing habits. A lot of times people want to implement a new habit or change a habit, and they do it because perhaps something dramatic happened in their life that made them, out of desperation, want to change various aspects of their lives and change various habits or implement new habits into their life. So what happens? Let me give you an example. Let's say I was concerned about my health and I wanted to improve my health. So this is something that I've actually done before, where I was making goals and I was thinking, I need to improve my health. So what should I change? What are some habits that I should really implement? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat healthier, so I won't eat any junk food, and I will also exercise 3 times a week, and also go to sleep before 11 p.m. at night. So it was just 3 habits that I was trying to change. But what I found out was that as soon as I tried to change all 3 habits at once, guess what? The following week, after I made that decision to try and implement all these habits, I gave up on them. All right? I wasn't able to consistently do them after just 1 week. And part of the reason is because a lot of times, out of desperation, you want to change things in your life and implement successful habits. That's great, but you have to realize that you have to not overwhelm yourself. You see, habits, the way that you actually create and implement a lasting habit is if you focus on it and only on one habit at a time so that you can really do it consistently. And then your body, your mind will know to implement it automatically. And once you have that down, then you can move on to the next habit. So instead of perhaps a couple times throughout the year where you're really trying to improve your health and like me, you try to change 3, 4, 5, even more habits all at once and being overwhelmed, so giving up on them, why don't you instead try focusing on one habit at a time? Pick the habit that if you are to change it or implement it in your life, that it would make the most impact to you right now in terms of your level of happiness or abundance or freedom. So what's that successful habit? And then just focus on implementing that successful habit in your life at any given time. Then, once you focus on it and only on that habit, do it consistently enough so that it creates, it becomes automatic in your life. Then you can move on to the next habit. And I found that this is much more useful. So let's say a habit takes you, let's say 3 months. 3 months to actually implement it in your life, focus on, and have it become automatic. Well, if it takes you 3 months to implement one habit, That means in a year, you can implement 4 habits, 4 successful habits that can be lasting in your life. And I find that to be much more useful. 4 successful habits that are lasting in your life each year, as opposed to trying to change a bunch of habits at once and just not getting any lasting behavior change. So that's tip number 1. Don't overwhelm yourself and focus only on changing one habit at any given time, and really focus on making it automatic first before jumping into the next thing. Now, tip number 2 is to take small steps. Instead of perhaps you weren't really exercising before, and so instead of trying to go for exercising 5 days a week, why don't you just start out with 2 days a week, all right? Just try implementing this habit of going to exercise 2 days a week. Then, once you can do that consistently, then you can increase it to 5 days a week. So why does it work and probably will work more likely? Well, it's because our mind is all relative. See, if you are to go from 0 to 5, that seems like a much bigger jump than just 0 to 2. And then 2 to 5 is another 3 days. So it's all based on relativity. It seems like we're implementing smaller changes. And so our minds are typically more accepting of that. And we'll think, okay, we're more likely to be able to really achieve it. So we're more likely to actually try and implement that habit. So make sure you break down if you want a really big habit, try and break it down so that you increase it incrementally. All right, so make sure that once you set your habit, figure out, all right, is this habit maybe slightly too overwhelming? And then try to cut it down. And then once you're able to implement that smaller habit successfully, then gradually increase it so that eventually you'll be able to really implement that new successful habit in your life. For this episode's show notes with action steps, resources, transcripts, and my video recording, please visit happyabundantfreedom.com/EP16 or EP16 for action items and more resources on what are some of the successful habits that you should implement in your life, and also how you can implement in your life faster and easier. Now, please also post in the comment section on that page as to what's that one habit that you're going to focus on implementing for the next however long. Just one habit. What are you going to focus on? And I look forward to seeing you post that in the comment section at happyabundantfreedom.com/EP16 or EP16. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about what to do if you broke a habit. I know life isn't always perfect, and I've definitely done it too, where I tried to implement a habit and I was doing so well up until the time I broke that habit. And I'll talk to you as to how you can get back into that habit successfully. So that's in the next episode. As a thank you gift for becoming a subscriber to this podcast, I want to personally give you my 9 easy steps to increase focus and achieve your goals. These are what most self-help experts forgot to tell you. And this is included in my ebook that's worth $67, which I'm going to give to you for free. In this ebook, you'll get step-by-step strategies on how to easily solve the 2 root problems to your procrastination, lack of focus and action, your low self-confidence, a fear of failure or success, perfectionism, and stress from information overload. Why SMART goals actually slow you down, and one simple tweak to speed up your results. How to focus by using distractions and multitasking, and how to procrastinate to achieve your goals. I know this sounds strange, but it can be done, and I'm going to show you how. One secret habit successful people use to get people to help them achieve their goals. So you can sign up for free to become a subscriber to this podcast, and get this ebook for free by going to www.happyabundantfreedom.com/podcast. And feel free to share this with your friends and family who want to increase their focus, achieve their goals, and increase their productivity and success in their life. So again, www.happyabundantfreedom.com/podcast, where I look forward to sharing all of this fantastic information with you. In the meantime, here's to you creating more happiness, abundance, and freedom in your life and your community.